Does a corporate paycheck grant you the ethical right to monitor and analyze a person's physical geometry while they work 40 hours a week, where
Well,
they are, where they
just
are?
because you can doesn't mean you should. We have surveillance cameras now, right? So, you go into, for example, the bank. There is not a spot in the bank that is not under surveillance at some point. But what are we using the information for? How are we using that information? I think that's probably the biggest argument from the ethics of using AI as an enforcement mechanism is what you're talking about in safety management system, right?
Yeah, it's either verbally, I mean, even if it's just a verbal warning, right? I know that when I go out and do site inspections in the field, right? Just me showing up strikes people, spikes their cortisol levels and makes anxiety, right? I can tell by the way they talk to me. And I'm not a punitive sort, but even if I mention, hey, we should probably do this different or whatever, people get nervous, anxiety spikes cortisol, cortisol spikes fatigue. I mean, it's like a slippery slope of that kind of like, how are we using it? Right? Do people know how we're using discipline? Um, you know, and discipline comes with responsibility. Okay. Um, are people using AI just to discipline employees? And is that something that OSHA would want us to do?
Well, I think OSHA would want us to discipline our employees for violations of safety hazards. So let me take the counter argument because I haven't really made up my mind yet where I stand on it. Telematics. You mentioned telematics earlier. Does telematics improve driving safety? Absolutely, it's improved driving safety, right? Because it's monitoring at risk behaviors. So, would a well tuned AI mechanism that helps identify at risk behaviors be helpful to your organization? In your favorite term, it just depends. I think really rolls out here. How are you using this? Are we nitpicking people? Or are we really looking for behaviors that could result in serious injuries or fatalities? And how do we manage this within context? You know, and this is all assuming that the AI tool has been trained to not to give a bunch of false positives, right? Uh, I've heard that, and look, there have been a bunch of people bring this idea up. I had somebody the other day talking and say, "Wouldn't it be great if we had this camera that watched people work all day long, and then when they made an at-risk behavior, it would create a notification, then we could go down and correct it and
It
coach it."
exists. It
Yeah, that
exists.
sounds great because you're the one that the camera's watching all day long.
Yeah. So I did read an article related to this that some manufacturers are resolving that conflict by blurring uh, faces, right, and blinding the AI. However, they blind the AI to who the person was that had the violation. Right. I can see that
But
that
what's the point then?
well, I mean, if you're not using it for discipline, let's go back to the somebody. It flags the person that backs up into a powered industrial truck lane because they have to move that box safely, and in order to do it, they need the extra room, right? Then the point there would be, you see that happen once or twice. The AI flags it. You look at the camera and you say, "Oh, look, we have to move that lane, or we can't store those boxes there." Right?
Do I not to discipline workers for violations of my safety policies?
But it's out of context, right?
I mean, I think context is part of is the entire part of taking a snippet in time. You know, why did the worker do what the worker did? Could it be used to improve processes? Absolutely. Could it be improved to identify where the safety management system is failing? Absolutely. Could it be improved to see if our defenses have the capacity to absorb blows to the system? 100%. I'm just very cautious about using it as a disciplinary, even though discipline is part of a functioning safety management system.